Appearance to another, now 3 police generals, a brigadier and a service provider arrested in connection with irregular procurement of emergency blue lights valued at over 84 million rand have been granted bail ranging from 15,000 to 50,000 rand each. The 5 appeared in the Johannesburg Special Commercial Crimes Court following their arrest by police watchdog IPID this morning. Our reporter Chriselda Lewis was in court. Well, she is with us now, joining us this evening. Chriselda, the first thing, obviously, the big name to look at there is going to be the name of Delanga. I remember you speaking to her just a few months ago.
That's right.
Where are we? She was, it seemed, dismissed. Then, no, actually, she was retiring, and now this.
Well, it's really been a whirlwind, I think, for Delanga when we heard this morning that she'd handed herself over to the police watchdog IPID following these allegations of fraud and corruption relating to the tender that you referred to. What we understand by that, Bongani, is that if there's any indication, recall that this all started back in June, where there seemed to have been Delanga being informed that she was being removed from her position as the top police officer here in Gauteng, the Gauteng police commissioner. And then she basically went out telling the media that she did not know why she was being dismissed from her position, and she believes that there's a witch hunt. So a few days later, that announcement was not made. She remained in her position, and then all of a sudden, towards the end of October, she announced that she was retiring. Then a few days later, you now hear that she's facing these allegations and is appearing in court. But if you have an indication from what was entailed in her affidavit this afternoon when she was applying for bail, Delanga believes that the state does not have a case against her, and the utterances that she had made back in June about certain individuals being after her are certainly things that we're going to hear in this court when we meet again next year.
That's a really interesting development because, of course, if she has retired, why would there be a witch hunt against somebody who's leaving the force?
When we asked the police watchdog how far along they'd been investigating this, they indicated that she was at the helm of the police in Gauteng when they were investigating this in 2016. These alleged irregularities that took place under her watch, and it's alleged that there were some fraudulent documents that had been produced in order for a certain service provider to get this tender for the installation of these blue lights. So she claims that there had long been a ploy to discredit her and her name, because she'd always maintained that whatever witch hunt there was, against Delanga, was that she believed the statistics were there to prove that she was doing a good job, and she believes that those who are after her are basically wanting to tarnish her image.
But they're quite specific here. 84 million rand is obviously the big amount they're looking at, and she may well have been doing a good job, but it doesn't answer the specifics of these allegations, does it?
No, it does not. But I think what is also interesting, before I get to that, Bongani, is that you've also got the current deputy provincial commissioner, who was also in the dock with her, also being accused of these very crimes. And she's got a lot to answer for pertaining to that, because what you would find is that in the process of tendering, who would have put the final stamp of approval on that? It would have been Delanga. So I guess the state believes that she would need to answer to why she had perhaps put signatures on this particular process, which they believe was irregular.
Do we have any details on the service provider involved?
We do not have details at this stage. Details are still quite sketchy, but we do know that in the next few days, as we get our hands on those documents, much more light will be shed on that, Bongani.
All right, it's going to have some implications for law enforcement in Gauteng, no doubt. And it's a story you're going to be following and keeping an eye on for us. All right, Chriselda Lewis there, keeping an eye on that story. And of course, it comes maybe as a bit of a blow given the success stories we heard about from the National Minister last night. Now, we'd love to hear your responses, by the way, to all that we discuss on the show. Send us your comments, #FullView on Twitter. We'll, of course, welcome your voice notes on 0664798056. And remember, you can view any of our interviews or features. You'll do that at sabcnews.com. You'll find us on Facebook. And as I say, on Twitter, our hashtag is FullView. Stay with us.